Welcome back to another episode of Light Beer, Dark Money. I'm Sean Noble.
I'm Chris Clements.
And we just came back from our second HYROX race.
Yeah, you were in Washington, D.C.
Very briefly.
How was the weather?
It was beautiful.
Was it really?
Well, it's interesting because we landed on Friday evening.
They're getting some weather right now, I think.
Yeah,
I read that.
yeah. It kept getting pushed back. So we landed on Friday evening, and it turns out that Friday was peak cherry blossom day.
Oh,
The next day, we went out, took the kids to the Natural History Museum, took them to the Children's Museum, saw thousands of people looking at the cherry blossoms. We looked at the cherry blossoms ourselves.
Fantastic.
I mean, it was driving by the tidal basin.
Just gorgeous.
Just incredible. Just incredible.
The best time to be
in
DC.
It really is the best time to be in D.C.
And there were people there.
There are people. It was
people
bustling.
everywhere.
It was bustling.
Yeah. So the demise of Washington, D.C. is greatly exaggerated.
D.C. is back, for sure.
Yeah.
It was 80 degrees, and it wasn't humid. I mean, it might have been a little bit humid, but it didn't feel. I mean, it didn't feel hot.
No, it
was beautiful.
Late March.
It was beautiful.
Early April. Wonderful weather.
We had a late start, so our HYROX race was not until Sunday at 6:40 p.m.
Yeah, I was texting with you.
You're like, how'd it go? And I'm like,
done.
We haven't even started yet.
No.
We did great. I was very impressed with us. We shaved more than 4 minutes off our time from Houston.
That's amazing. That's so great.
And all the credit goes to Elissa because she kept the pace. We had a goal to, last in Houston, our goal was 1:30. We did 1:26:05. Our goal was 1:24, and we did 1:21:46.
That's incredible. You're a monster.
Well, I don't know about that.
You did text me and you said that your legs were jelly.
They definitely were wobbly. That was
thank
especially
goodness
that
for good
late
weather
in the evening. Yeah.
Well, it's all outside, right? I mean,
no, it's inside.
Oh, it is inside.
It's all inside.
Oh, okay. I thought it was outside.
It's great because it's air conditioned, and because I can't imagine doing it with any bit of humidity or warmth.
Oh my goodness,
that would be awful.
All right.
Yeah, it's inside, so that helps a lot.
Oh, I had this vision that you're outside and you're doing all these, and you're having to run like a course. And
well, you run around the perimeter of the convention center.
Sure.
And because they take the biggest hall that they have at the convention center. It's massive. And I mean, you imagine you run around it 1.5 times and it's a kilometer.
Yeah.
So, but it was about the second run in, I was like, why am I doing this? But we crushed it on the sled push and the sled pull. And I even got through the burpee broad jumps without dying.
The burpee broad jumps.
But when we were
so
headed,
is that you do a burpee and then you jump?
Then you do a broad jump, and you have to keep both feet together. Take off with both feet, land with both feet, and you have to drop right where your feet are to do your burpee. Then do your broad jump.
How many of those do you have to do?
You have to do 80 meters.
Oh.
So it depends on how far you can broad jump is how many you have to do.
Oh my goodness!
For anyone who is interested in learning more about HYROX, just go to hyrox.com. I mean, it is
80 meters of burpees.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Barf.
And 80 meters of sandbag lunges, 50 meters of pulling the sled and pushing the sled. And yeah, so 1,000 meters of sled or the ski erg and a 1,000-meter row, and then 200-meter farmer carry with 53 pounds in each arm, each hand. So it's legit. But
your wife got you into this.
Yes, yes, and she's a beast.
She loves it.
I mean, the thing that's amazing is that when you do doubles mixed, which is what we were, man and woman, you use the men's open weight. So if she were to do this just as a solo woman, her sled push, her sled pull, her farmer carry, her lunges, all those weights would, even the wall ball, all those weights would be lighter. But she's doing the men's weights.
Oh my gosh.
So that we're doing it.
She is a beast.
Together. So, yeah.
I mean that with all respect.
Well,
all
yes.
love and respect. Oh my gosh. She
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And she drove us.
She's made you a better man.
She clearly has made me. I mean, and you know this. In
Yes.
every possible way, she has made me a better person, a better man.
Yes.
I mean, it is an amazing. I think about myself before, and I think about myself now, and the transformation is just incredible. And
Well,
she gets all the credit.
oh, well, I mean, there's other things that get credit too.
Well, yeah, God.
Yeah, that that you've decided to align yourself in a different way, and that I think that you deserve a lot of credit for deciding to do that,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I suppose, but I had
No,
good
no,
motive.
no, no. There's no suppose.
Okay, all right.
That
Thank
was a very conscious decision by you. I mean, you even walked away from a lifetime of, well, you were in the Mormon church
Yeah.
for forever,
for 50 some years. Yeah.
50 something years, you converted to Catholicism. You've embraced Jesus in a totally different way,
Mm-hmm.
Putting him first, right?
Yes.
So that's on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Good point. I'll take that. Thank you.
I mean,
No, I mean, you're
we
right.
talked about
Yeah.
it, in one of the podcasts, like even your, yeah, 2 podcasts ago. I mean, even the strength that you've received to be sober.
Right.
That's on you. That's on you and your relationship with God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very similar to what I've had. What my decision was. I
Right.
was brought up in faith and went to church and but once I finally decided to take it really, to really be in it, that's when everything changed.
Yeah. Agreed. Well,
and one of those gifts was Elissa.
yeah, and I'll tell you, there was the euphoria I felt as we crossed the finish line, and I looked up and I saw our time, and I was just like, I just hugged her from behind. If you go on my Instagram, you can see the picture. And I was just like, we did it. And she's like, let go of me. Because I was just like, she was sweaty and tired, and we just fell on the floor, and I was just like, I can't believe we did this. But it was amazing.
So great.
It was
Good for you
it was
guys.
great. It was yeah, it was a great quick trip. We've got one more scheduled, and that's Atlanta at the end of April. And then it'll be a few months. We'll do some late in the fall, early winter later this year. So you'll only hear about
any mud races.
No, but we're
outside.
We're looking at a couple other things to fill the time and to add to the elements. But you'll only hear me talk about HYROX one more time, and then it'll be a few months of quiet.
Well, I mean, it's actually very apropos that you were in Washington, D.C.
It is apropos
because so much is happening.
So much has happened.
And I'm wondering,
Chris, let's hear.
And
what's
I'm
happening.
wondering, if you had time just to wander by the White House and
we did go by. I mean, we got close enough to look at it. We didn't really, bother to.
I understand.
I didn't try to send my kid through the fence like someone else did a few days ago. Did you see that?
No, I think I heard about that.
3-year-old boy got through the fencing, and Secret Service had to pick him up and take him back out.
Did you have a chance to go by the now defunct Black Lives Matter Plaza?
We did. No longer there. And we actually went to the Reagan building where there was a USAID office.
Oh, yes.
And I think the Reagan building also had Voice of America.
There's several.
I mean, several.
I know Homeland Security was in there for a long time too.
So what is interesting is I mean, clearly, because we left Monday morning, clearly what the Trump administration has done, saying to federal workers, hey, you got to come back to the office.
They're back.
Yeah. Traffic is back.
Traffic is back.
It's back to the way it was years ago.
Well, and
good for them.
And that means businesses are back. That means people. I mean, it's really nice and easy to have a Black Lives Matter plaza when you don't have anyone driving over it.
Right. And
everything's
all
shut
these
down.
businesses that were particularly restaurants that were put out of business because they lost their customers because everyone stayed home.
Yeah.
So it's coming back, and it's good to see. And
It's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be. And I think that what is happening with the changes in the federal government, with the hopeful shrinking of the federal government, I mean, these are all good things. And yet, it's just so ironic to me that liberals, and I think we talked about this, liberals who are at the forefront of the dangers of climate change
Well, it's a religion to them.
are burning Teslas.
Yes.
So not only are you're destroying a vehicle that is helping your cause,
Yes.
you are making it
Well,
infinitely worse by burning a battery powered car, which the smoke, the toxicity of those fumes has got to be.
It's tremendous.
Whoa, terrible.
Yeah, it's tremendous. It's the irony of ironies. It makes you understand that it was never really about climate change. It's just about power. And
good point.
And when someone's over the target, and people are getting louder, that's how you know they're really over the target.
Yeah.
And right now, Elon Musk is over the target.
Yeah.
It was reported this week he's rifling through the Social Security Administration, and he is finding dead people. Millions and millions of dead people who are still getting Social Security. He's also finding illegal aliens who are getting Social Security. He reported that at the rally in Wisconsin over the weekend.
Right.
It is unbelievable. We were talking earlier about there's like two headlines I could make up for this podcast. One, which drives the liberals left nuts. Elon Musk is an American hero.
Yeah.
What he has done over the last several months in exposing the grift of the federal government. And that's the other headline. The federal government is the greatest grift in the history of the world.
Without question.
It is the biggest grift.
There are billions and billions of dollars just being completely wasted.
He announced this week he's going to go back and he's going to find out how all these congressmen and senators have gotten all this money. And I think what he's exposed is if you connect the dots, now you understand probably how they're doing it. They're doing it through nonprofits that they've set up in some way, shape, or form, that they're getting grants from the federal government and paying themselves. That's what I think without it being reported directly, what he's going to find. Because I think that's the only way a Stacey Abrams gets $2 billion.
Yeah. Well, and that grant was the tip of the iceberg of like, oh boy, we're going to see a huge, you're going to kick over that rotten log and see all the insects scurry.
Oh yeah.
Because Stacey Abrams, her big thing was election integrity, right? She was the ultimate election denier.
She was the original.
She original election denier.
Well, no, Hillary Clinton was the original. We'll get to her in a second.
but then, right before Biden leaves office, she sets up this nonprofit that is for
climate change.
Climate change.
Yes.
The previous year, it had $100.
Yep, $100 donation
in its account.
That was the starter donation.
The starter donation of $100, and then the next year it got $2 billion.
Yeah, with a B.
Billion. $2 billion from federal grants. I mean, that's just
and the way
insane.
Elon describes some of these nonprofits the other day is that they're almost circular. So a grant goes out to an NGO, then grants money to another nonprofit, and then it comes back to individuals. And that's what they're seeing. It's the greatest grift.
That's unbelievable.
Ever.
I mean,
and I don't care right now the focus is on the left, but you got to know that there's probably some folks on the right.
I'm sure it's happened on the right, and if it does, it needs to be exposed. It
absolutely needs to be exposed. It's the biggest grift ever.
Mainly because I didn't get it. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I didn't get it, but it absolutely shouldn't happen.
It's crazy what they're finding. Even the Department of Labor reporting this week that the DOGE came in and they're finding all these grants to foreign countries from the Labor Department.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's nuts.
Well,
and it's not right.
And the amount of money that they've been giving to universities that have been just basically plowing it into administrative cost.
Well,
You know,
ASU being one of them.
yeah. Harvard's under investigation now. I mean, folks, this is going to be a story that continues to unfold every time they turn over another rock, because the level of grift is beyond comprehension.
Yeah,
I mean,
in the billions of dollars.
When Bret Baier interviewed, and I recommend everyone watch the interview that Bret Baier did with Elon Musk and his DOGE folks,
which are not 20-year-old backpack.
No, these are all
carrying...
people that they identified. They're all, part of the deal. And Bret said, "What's the most surprising thing that you've seen?" And Elon was just like, the absolute level of waste and fraud
and corruption
is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, even he was like, this is just way beyond my wildest.
Was it the founder of I listened to it the other day, and was it the founder of Airbnb who was put in charge of digitizing all the records in the cave? Was that his job, or was it somebody else?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but that was another fascinating part about that interview, was them actually saying, yes, there is a cave, and it's miles of documents that have never been filed properly or digitized,
paper documents.
And they said the most interesting part of that was they think they can get that solved within the next 2-3 months.
Really?
Yeah. That they're going to get that all processed in the next several months. There's how many different computer systems in HHS?
Yeah.
How many? There's like 7, 8 CIOs.
Oh my gosh.
In HHS, maybe it's more. They said there's how many different communication directors in HHS? I mean, just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And yet the federal government has like 2 million employees, and you would think the sky is falling. They've only fired or released 77,000 or 80,000.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The vast majority of people have come back to work. Vast majority of people are the people that you saw in Washington, D.C. They want their jobs. They want to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
So just despite all the hysteria.
And it is hysteria.
It is total hysteria.
And that's the key, is that these people are drumming up hysteria because they don't know what else to do. They're just in a free fall. And it will be very interesting to see how the left reacts. What is it they do to try to course correct? Because they're clearly on the losing side. I mean, they lost big in the last election. Now, do we see issues that worry me? Yeah. The loss of the special election, the state Senate race in the state Senate seat in Pennsylvania. We've got 3 races tonight. You have 2 Florida special elections in congressional districts, and then the Wisconsin Supreme Court election.
Yep.
So on Thursday, when we come back, we'll be able to talk about those results. So watch out for that. And guess what else happens tomorrow? So today's Tuesday.
Yep.
Tomorrow's April 2nd. And it's Liberty, or what is he called? Liberation Day. Liberation Day. It's when the tariffs.
But everything is being negotiated right now.
Yeah,
you're not going to know anything until you know anything.
Right.
And
so the markets are, all over the place because nobody really knows how to plan for this.
But also you're starting to see, cracks in the right. You've got National Review and the Wall Street Journal just hammering Trump on tariffs and the economy, and also the deportation of the Trinidad terrorists and gang members. They're finding holes in all the rationale to do it.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Heritage Foundation and even our friends at AEI saying, no, these are very interesting policies to pursue, and there might be some good things that come out of this.
Right.
So, and that's a good thing overall in terms of a healthy dialogue and healthy debate.
Well, and it is. I mean, we have, I think part of it. So I've been, free markets is one of the
course.
Pillars of this podcast. It's one of the pillars of the American founding. How does trade policy fit into that with tariffs and that? Those are things that are good
Yeah.
questions. Now, there are tariffs that were in place at the founding. So obviously the founders saw ways to deal with tariffs in the free markets, and
They didn't have an income tax either.
Yeah.
Back then.
So,
and I need to correct myself. I said in the last podcast that you can't buy a Ford F-150 in Germany. You can through an import company. As of 2022, I put it through Chat. I put it through Chat GPT just to see.
Yourself out.
Yeah, I need to make sure I was. But for decades, you couldn't, and I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah,
and that's still at a 10% tariff.
Ladies and
gentlemen,
the 2% this is why you listen to us, because when we get it wrong, we actually find out ourselves and correct it.
Well, I mean, and there's a Ford Focus that is sold in Europe and is the number 7 car in the EU.
Oh,
it's like a little SUV. It's the Ford Fox.
Ford Fox
or something like that. Yeah.
I will say, when you go to Europe, you see cars that you're like, and you see like Fords. You see cars that are American cars that you're like, I've never seen.
Yeah, they make different cars for the Europe. Well, and most of them are manual transmission, obviously.
And they're all smaller.
And they're all much smaller because the roads are much tinier.
Yeah.
But there's still a 10% or 20% tariff depending on the vehicle.
Yeah.
I think for Mustangs, it's like a 20% tariff. But so the reciprocal tariffs on that note, which will have to be levied at the product level.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what they decide on that.
Well, and Trump has also so let's on Thursday we'll be able to talk about the elections. We'll be able to talk about Liberation Day with the tariffs. But the big announcement, I think, is one of the bigger announcements is Trump has announced his first foreign visit. It's going to go to Saudi Arabia.
That's not a surprise.
It is the first place he went during his first time.
Yeah, and they rolled out the red, gold, blazing platinum carpet.
And the glowing globe.
The glowing globe. But apparently he said he has, he's guaranteed like $1 trillion of investment from the Saudis.
$1 trillion?
$1 trillion.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, you look at
what he claims. I mean, I heard that this morning. So, whatever.
And that's, I mean, it's smart on the Saudis' part, but it's also an example of engaging with these countries, getting them, I mean, and companies. I mean, you look at the level of investment that have been announced in the last, what has he been president for 59 days?
60 days.
I mean, it's amazing to see, 60 days.
68 days, yeah.
It's amazing to see how much has happened in reinvestment in the United States between Apple and NVIDIA and Taiwan computer, microchips and all kinds of other. I mean, it's now over. And I'm trying to get to $1 trillion, and then the Saudis now say $1 trillion. So we're probably talking true $2 trillion plus.
Well,
in
OPEC
investment.
Also just said that they're going to increase production in April.
Oh, is that right?
Well, it's because we're gearing up production here in the United States.
Prices are going to come down.
Well, I think gas prices are going to come down, and you know who that's going to hurt the most?
It's going to freeze Russia.
Yeah, and anyone who thinks that Trump is just a Putin patsy,
no,
I don't think so. I think you're going to see some fireworks over the next couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know who is a real patsy?
Who?
Hillary Clinton.
How so?
Did you read her op-ed in the New York Times this weekend?
I did not.
Or did you hear about it?
I actually didn't.
You didn't? Okay, so Hillary Clinton had an op-ed in the New York Times blasting the Trump administration for their mishandling of classified information.
You got to be kidding me.
On a Signal app.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. I am being very truthful to you, my friend.
I mean, so if
H is for hypocrisy, and the poster child for hypocrisy is Hillary Rodham Clinton. I mean, you can't make it up.
Yeah, it is.
So to your point, the Democrats are drowning. They're like looking for leadership. Who do they trudge out? Huma's girlfriend. I mean, it's just nuts.
It's mind-boggling to me that they would use Hillary Clinton as the person who is shaming the Trump administration over classified material. I mean, they're trying to memory hole the entire world.
Last time I checked under her watch, like an ambassador died.
Yeah.
Like for real.
But no,
but
yeah,
what difference does it make, Sean? What difference does it make?
Yeah.
All these years later, the only thing that makes a difference is Hillary still can't get over the fact she lost the 2016 election. And she's got to take pot shots at an administration that actually performed well under fire.
Who told her that was a good idea? I mean, that is absurd.
Maybe Simon Rosenberg did. I don't know.
I don't know.
Simon. I don't know. Simon doesn't
insane.
say. But it was unbelievable. There were excerpts, and then I went back and I read it. I'm like, what is she talking about? And she's calling them stupid, and she's saying all these. It's definitely in her voice. Definitely sounds kind of like her, whoever wrote it. But I don't know, bleach bit. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like with a cloth, smashing phones.
I'm stunned. I did not know this, and I can't believe they did this.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Hillary Rodham Clinton,
the moral authority on classified information, for sure. Yep.
Should have gone to jail, like what anybody else would have, for sure. And here she is.
And what's absurd about this is that the Signal's been used by journalists,
Signal's been in the government for a long time. Apparently, it's not.
This was a screw up by either Mike Waltz or his deputy.
Definitely his deputy.
That included Jeffrey Goldberg, and we've talked about this ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Jeffrey Goldberg.
We're giving it too much life, as it is. But then you have Hillary Rodham Clinton jump on, the New York Times and like set herself on fire.
It's bizarre.
It's the most bizarre thing ever.
Well,
it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It just shows how desperate, but she can't help herself. Her narcissism, the pain, the anguish of losing the 2016 election, Russia. I mean, it's bad enough the whole, Russiagate thing happened under her direction.
Well, it was a complete fabrication.
Yeah. And she wants to lecture the current administration about classified information.
Wow. Well, on that high note,
that's why we live in bizarro world.
Yes. Yes. Well, keep an eye out on what happens over the next few days. We'll be back on Thursday to
we will have a long show on Thursday to look at what happens today, which will be extensive.
Well,
and the fallout from the tariffs tomorrow.
And it might be short. It might be a short show. I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends what happens.
Yeah. I doubt it.
We'll make this promise. It will be worth your time.
Yeah,
long or short.
Will.
It'll be worth your time. All right. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. God
everyone.
bless.
See you.